Level 1. The blood debt. Your father collapses during the dinner rush. One moment he's pulling noodles behind the counter of your family's shop in Sham Shui Po. The next, he's on the floor, gasping for air. The customers scatter. Your mother screams. The ambulance takes him to Queen Elizabeth Hospital. The doctors run tests for 3 days. Liver failure. Advanced. He needs a transplant, or he has 6 months to live. The surgery costs 800,000 Hong Kong dollars. Your family has 30,000 in savings. You're 19 years old. You work in the noodle shop 16 hours a day for no pay. Your mother cleans office buildings at night. Your younger sister is still in school. There's no way to get that kind of money. Not legally. You sit in the hospital cafeteria at 2 a.m., staring at nothing. A man sits down across from you. You've never seen him before. Gold Rolex that probably costs more than your apartment. He slides an envelope across the table. You open it. Cash. Thick stacks of $1,000 bills. You count it with shaking hands. 800,000 exactly. You look up at him confused. He stands to leave. Your father helped me once. Long time ago. I don't forget debts. He walks away before you can ask his name. Your father gets the transplant. He survives. 2 weeks later, you're helping close the noodle shop when the same man walks in. He's not alone this time. 3 other men stand behind him. He sits at a table. You sit across from him. Your hands are shaking. The money wasn't a gift. It was a loan. And now the repayment is due. Not money. Service. 3 years of your life. After that, the debt is cleared. If you refuse, he takes the money back from your father. While he's still recovering in the hospital, you understand immediately. This was never charity. It was a trap. A perfectly set trap that you walked into because you had no choice. You nod. He smiles. The other men relax. You just joined the 14K, the oldest triad in Hong Kong, and you didn't even know it until it was too late. Level 2. The 49er. Your first job is simple. Stand on a corner in Mong Kok and watch. You're given a phone. If you see police, you text a single emoji, a red circle. That's it. You stand there for 8 hours, freezing in winter, soaking in summer rain. You watch. You don't know what you're protecting. A gambling den, a drug stash house, a loan shark office. You don't ask. Asking questions is dangerous. After 2 weeks, they trust you with more. You move crates from trucks into warehouses. Heavy crates, sealed. You never open them. Sometimes you hear glass clinking inside. Sometimes the crates smell like chemicals. Once, you lift one that's surprisingly light and hear something shift inside. You're a 49er now. The lowest rank in the triad, a foot soldier, disposable, but you're learning. You watch who gives orders. You watch who collects money. You watch how respect flows upward through invisible channels. One night, you're unloading a truck when police raid the warehouse. Everyone scatters. You run, but a cop tackles you in an alley. He handcuffs you. He searches your pockets. You're clean. You were taught never to carry anything incriminating. No drugs, no weapons, no cash. The cop is frustrated. He asks who you work for. You stay silent. He threatens you with jail time. You stay silent. He eventually lets you go with a warning. The next day, the man who recruited you pulls you aside. He heard about the arrest. He heard you didn't talk. He tells you you're ready for initiation. Level 3. The ceremony. You're blindfolded and led through narrow streets. You can hear the city around you. Taxis honking, street vendors shouting, but you can't see anything. When the blindfold comes off, you're in a temple. Not a tourist temple, a real one. 30 men stand in a circle. All of them are looking at you. An altar sits in the center of the room. On it, a ceremonial sword, a live white rooster, and a porcelain bowl. An elderly man steps forward. His face is weathered. His eyes are cold. He's the dragon head, the leader of this branch of the 14K. He begins reciting the 36 oaths, ancient rules passed down for over 300 years. If you betray your brothers, you will die by 1,000 cuts. If you reveal triad secrets, you will be drowned. If you sleep with a brother's wife, you will be dismembered. If you cooperate with police, your entire family will suffer. Each oath is more severe than the last. There's no room for mercy, no room for mistakes. Then comes the blood ritual. They slit the rooster's throat. Its blood pours into the bowl. They prick your finger with a needle. Your blood drips into the same bowl, mixing with the rooster's. You're told to drink. The liquid is warm, metallic, disgusting, but you drink it anyway. The moment you swallow, you're bound for life. There's no resignation, no retirement, no escape clause. You're 14K now, a brother, and brothers don't leave, they die. Level 4. The red pole. You're 24. You've been a 49er for 5 years. You've moved shipments. You've kept watch. You've kept silent through 2 more arrests. They promote you to Red Pole, 426 in the Triad's numeric system, an enforcer. Your job isn't logistics anymore. It's violence. The Sun Yi On, a rival triad, has been moving into 14K territory in Tsimsha Tsui. They've opened an illegal gambling den 2 blocks from one of your operations. They're taking customers. They're taking money. The Dragonhead doesn't negotiate. He gives you an order. Shut them down. You and 4 other Red Poles arrive at midnight. You're armed with cleavers and metal batons. One man has a pistol tucked in his waistband, but guns are a last resort in Hong Kong. Too loud, too much attention. You kick in the door, 50 people inside, money everywhere. You don't announce yourselves. You just start swinging. Tables flip, tiles scatter. People scream and run for the exits. You find 3 Sun Yi-on enforcers trying to protect the cash. You beat them to the floor. One tries to pull a knife. You break his arm with a baton. You leave before the police arrive. No one will report this. No one ever does. But the Sun Yi. On retaliates 3 days later. They ambush one of your brothers outside a karaoke bar. They hack him with cleavers. He survives, but barely. 16 stitches across his back. Now it's war. For 2 months, it's back and forth violence. Ambushes in alleys, stabbings outside nightclubs, a firebomb through a restaurant window. 3 of your brothers die, 6 of theirs. Finally, the Dragonheads meet. They negotiate a truce, new boundaries are drawn, compensation is paid to the families of the dead. 100,000 Hong Kong dollars per body. The war ends. But you're different now. You've killed a man, not in self-defense, not in passion, because you were told to. You think about your father sometimes, recovering at home, eating soup your mother makes. He has no idea what you've become to save him. Level 5. The White Paper Fan. You're 29. You've proven yourself as a red pole, but the Dragonhead sees something else in you. You're smart. You understand numbers. He promotes you to White Paper Fan. 415, an administrator. You're off the streets now. You manage the Triad's legitimate businesses, karaoke bars. On paper, they're clean, but underneath, they're washing machines for dirty money. The Triad generates tens of millions annually from heroin trafficking, loan sharking, prostitution, and gambling. That money can't just sit in the safe. It needs to be cleaned. You run it through the restaurants. A noodle shop that seats 20 people reports serving 300 customers a day. The register rings up phantom transactions. Cash comes in dirty, gets recorded as legitimate income, goes out clean. You also manage the loan sharking network. The Triad lends money at 20% interest per month. A taxi driver borrows 50,000 Hong Kong dollars to pay his daughter's university tuition. 1 month later, he owes 60,000. 2 months, 72,000. 6 months, he owes 150,000. He can't pay. You send the red poles. They don't kill him. They just hurt him enough to send a message. You're making 80,000 Hong Kong dollars a month now. You wear tailored suits. You eat at expensive dim sum restaurants in Central. You look like a legitimate businessman, but the organized crime and Triad Bureau is watching. They have surveillance photos, financial records, wiretaps. They're building a case. One mistake, and you're looking at 15 years in Stanley Prison. You think about your 3-year debt sometimes. It's been 10 years now. The debt was never real. It was just the excuse they needed to own you. You're in too deep to leave now. Level 6. The Incense Master. You're 37. You've made the Dragonhead millions. You've never been caught. You've never talked. He promotes you to Incense Master. 438. The Keeper of Traditions. You oversee all initiation ceremonies now. You recite the 36 oaths to new recruits. You perform the blood rituals. You decide who's worthy to become a brother. But you're also the Dragonhead's counselor. You sit in on major decisions, territory disputes, and alliances with other triads. Hong Kong is changing. It's 2015. The Umbrella Revolution just happened. The Chinese government is tightening its grip. The old ways are dying. Younger members don't respect the oaths like they used to. They want fast money. They don't care about tradition. They don't understand that the rituals are what separates the triad from a common street gang. You're the bridge between the old generation and the new. You preserve the culture while adapting to the modern world. The Dragonhead wants to expand into cybercrime, credit card fraud, and identity theft. It's cleaner than drugs, less violent than extortion, harder for police to track. You help him recruit hackers, young tech-savvy kids who grew up with computers instead of cleavers. You offer them protection and connections in exchange for a percentage of their earnings. Within 2 years, the cybercrime division generates 50 million Hong Kong dollars annually. You're making 150,000 Hong Kong dollars a month now. You own property, you have offshore accounts in Macau, you're wealthy, your father died last year. He never knew what you became. Your mother thinks you work in import-export. Your sister moved to Canada and doesn't talk to you anymore. You saved your father's life, but you lost everything else. Level 7. The Dragonhead. You're 45. The old Dragonhead is dying. Cancer. He has weeks left. Before he dies, he names you his successor. The ceremony happens in a mountain temple in the new territories. 20 senior members witness it. You're crowned Dragonhead. 489. The leader. You control 3,000 members now. Operations across Hong Kong, Macau, and Shenzhen. The Triad generates 400 million Hong Kong dollars annually. Your word is law. When you give an order, it's executed without question. But you're also responsible for everything. When a member gets arrested, you pay for the lawyers. When a member dies, you support their family. When there's a dispute, you're the final judge. You negotiate with other triads now. You meet in private dining rooms, expensive restaurants where a meal costs 10,000 Hong Kong dollars per person. You divide territories, you prevent wars, because wars attract police attention and hurt profits. You also deal with the mainland government now. Beijing officially bans triads, but unofficially, they use you. During the 2019 protests, you're contacted by mainland officials. They want you to mobilize your men, make the pro-democracy movement look violent. Some dragonheads refuse. They disappear within months, arrested on fabricated charges, extradited to the mainland, never seen again. You comply. You send your red poles into the streets. It's recorded on video. It makes international news. You hate yourself for it, but refusal means death. You're at the top now. You have power, you have wealth, you have respect, but you're not free. You've never been free. Not since that night in the hospital cafeteria 26 years ago. Level 8, the reckoning. You're 50. Hong Kong is dying. The national security law passes in 2020. Beijing crushes the pro-democracy movement. Activists are arrested. Newspapers are shut down. The rule of law crumble. And the triads? Beijing doesn't need you anymore. You were useful during the protests. Now you're a liability. The crackdown begins. Operation Iron Fist, the largest anti-triad operation in Hong Kong history. Police raid 200 locations simultaneously. You're arrested at dawn. 50 officers surround your home. They cuff you in front of news cameras. The headline, Triad Dragonhead captured. The trial lasts 8 months. They have everything. Testimony from members who flip. You're convicted on 47 counts of organized crime, money laundering, and conspiracy to commit murder. The judge sentences you to life in prison. You're sent to Stanley Prison, maximum security, the same prison you sent others to for decades. You sit in a cell, 23 hours a day in isolation. You think about your father. He's been dead for 9 years now. You saved his life with blood money, and that decision destroyed yours. You're 50 years old. You'll die in this cell. Now you have nothing but time, and the ghosts of everyone you hurt to get here. This is the Triad, ancient oaths, modern crimes. You climb to the top, but the ladder was always resting on corpses. And in the end, all that's left is the debt, the one you can never repay.